Welcome back to the channel, and first of all, let me wish you a very happy new year. It is the year 2023. I do hope and pray that this new year will be your best year yet, both professionally and in your personal life. So to kick off the year 2023, I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences working with ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of ChatGPT already. It's taking the world by storm. Everyone is talking about ChatGPT, and I have to tell you, this is an extremely exciting AI, and it's also quite terrifying as well. Now, just in case you've never heard of ChatGPT or you don't know what I'm talking about, ChatGPT is this new revolutionary AI that was released a couple of months ago at the end of November last year. And the idea behind ChatGPT is that it is this artificial intelligence that you can ask to do so many things for you. You can ask ChatGPT to create blog posts for you. You can ask ChatGPT to suggest titles for your next blog post. It can write recipes for you. It can even code for you. With ChatGPT, you can build websites, create WordPress functions, and even create mobile games. It is that powerful. Now, I have been working with ChatGPT for a few days right now, and I've gotten mixed results. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to share my results with you and then give you my own opinion about ChatGPT in general, whether or not it's really a viable tool for our WordPress developers. So, just in case you've never used it before and you want to try, you're going to go to openai.com/blog/ChatGPT. You're going to see the pink button right there that says try ChatGPT. You simply click on the button, and then down here, this is where you can ask ChatGPT to do whatever you want it to do for you. And as you can see from the message right here, it is in high demand. There are so many people right now on ChatGPT. So let me share my experiences with you one by one. First of all, I told ChatGPT to write a blog post for me with more than 3,000 words about the best WordPress plugins for a blog website. Now, it started off pretty well. It listed out Yoast SEO, which actually in reality, I'd rather go with Rank Math than Yoast SEO, but that's a different topic for another day. It listed out Akismet, the W3 Total Cache, and so on. But then at number 8, it stopped mid-sentence, as you can see. So I figured out that when it comes to writing blog posts for you, ChatGPT seems to have an issue with when you specify the number of words that you want in your blog post. So I rephrased the question. I said, okay, simply write me a blog post about the best WordPress plugins for a blog website. And as you can see right now, it did a fairly good job. It listed out 8 plugins, not bad at all. And then I rephrase the question again to now say, write me a blog post about the top 10 WordPress plugins for a blog website. And even though it gave me 10 plugins, the actual quality of the content is a bit dubious, because you would notice that it listed out at least 4 plugins for SEO. You have Yoast SEO, and then you have Yoast SEO for WordPress again. You have Google Analytics by Yoast, and then you have the all-in-one SEO pack. So that's 4 plugins, all just for SEO. And in reality, on a blog website, you're only going to use 1 plugin for your SEO at the most. It also listed other plugins like W3 Total Cache, Smosh, Gravity Forms, which are not the actual plugins you want to run on a blog website. Don't get me wrong, these are good plugins, but when we're saying the top 10 plugins for your WordPress blog website, you'll be looking at plugins that will help you create your mailing list. For example, you'll be looking at plugins that would allow your subscribers to share your blog posts on social media, things like that. So the quality of the content is a bit dubious. I would say that you can still use ChatGPT to give you like a general sketch. It could give you some content, and then you would have to go in and then edit the content to make it actually viable. But let's forget about the simple stuff in here. Let's go to the very, very interesting stuff. I told ChatGPT to create a Gutenberg block for me. You can see the request right here. I said, create a Gutenberg block for me. And it said, okay, I'd be happy to help you create a Gutenberg block, but I need more information. What do you want the block to do? So I came back and I said, okay, create a Gutenberg block for me that is used to display a text paragraph. Now, this is where things begin to get very, very interesting. It gives out the code that you're going to use, all right? And it even went as far as to even explain the actual code, the functions it was using, what the functions are meant to do, which I thought was very, very interesting. So I decided to put myself in the position of someone who has never created a Gutenberg blog before or doesn't even know anything about WordPress development. So I said, okay, you've given me the code, but now where do I add this code? And actually, ChatGPT is so responsive, it actually went on to tell me where I would actually go on to display this code. So it then said, all right, well, that I might need to create like a JS file within my plugin or my theme and so on. So I said, okay, can you help me create the plugin? And it said, okay, sure. Creating a plugin for WordPress is a great way to add custom functionality, blah, 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 blah. And then right here, you can see right now, it gave me the code to actually create my own custom plugin. And then it also said around in here somewhere that you'll have to enqueue this particular file. So I came out and I said again, how do I enqueue the JS file? And again, it gave me very, very, very specific instructions for enqueuing the JS file. It gave me some more code again. And then I said, okay, where do I add this code? Like, the whole point I'm trying to make here is that ChatGPT is very, very, very chatty. If you ask it to do something for you and you're not satisfied or you're confused, you can tell ChatGPT and say, hey, look, I'm confused about what you told me earlier. Can you explain a bit further? And you will actually go on to explain what it's trying to tell you. Now, I'm going to bring in my notepad file in here just to show you what I did. This is the actual my blog.js file I was asked to create. This is the code right here. And then in the function.php, this was the function right here to actually create the plugin. Now I'm going to show you, I was able to actually get the plugin right here. You can see my custom blocks. That's the name of the plugin, but it does not work. I tried so many other different ways to actually get the plugin to work. All I wanted was a plugin that will display a custom paragraph Gutenberg block, which I can then use instead of the default Gutenberg block for adding paragraph text. So I came back in here and I said, okay, how do I create a new Gutenberg block? Because I wasn't happy. I thought I would try a different approach. And again, it came out here and gave me different kinds of information. Yes, to create a block, you do this, blah, 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 blah. And then I wasn't happy. I tried yet again and I said, okay, how can I make a custom Gutenberg block for WordPress? And again, it gave me more information in here, more kind of code and so on. And I kind of got frustrated after almost 3-4 hours working, trying to get ChatGPT to create a custom block for me for Gutenberg. And I went online and I did see that there were other people who have been successful with asking ChatGPT to create custom blocks for them, creating plugins for them and so on. So I guess a lot will depend on the way you ask or the kinds of questions that you actually ask ChatGPT. There are certain words that you may have to use, and one thing about ChatGPT is that you can also regenerate the response. So you see the button right there that says regenerate. You can regenerate the response, and very often ChatGPT will give you a slightly different answer, and that slightly different answer might actually be the answer that you're actually looking for. So in conclusion, when it comes to creating more advanced functionality like plugins, a lot will depend on how you approach ChatGPT, how or what you ask ChatGPT to do for you specifically. I didn't have much success in there, unfortunately, but I'm going to show you what I was able to achieve successfully with ChatGPT, and that's with creating WordPress functions. I asked ChatGPT to create 3 different WordPress functions for me, and it did it beautifully. Now, the very first function that I asked ChatGPT to create was a function that displays the current time, and you can see this is the code right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my notepad file in here, and I'm going to show you the code that I was given from ChatGPT. I'm going to do this in real time. So the code is right here. You can see that's the code: function display current time, return current time, hour, minutes, seconds, and so on. So I'm going to save this to my functions.php file from my website. And then you can see ChatGPT said you can use the shortcode current time and paste that shortcode in your post or page or wherever you want to display the current time. So I'm going to copy the shortcode. This is the page right here. I'm going to edit the page, and I'm going to simply insert the Gutenberg shortcode block right there, paste the shortcode current time, update, and now let's view the page. And then you can see right now we have the time right there, 11:03:51. If I refresh, now it's 11:03:57. Refresh again, 11:03, 11:04, and so on. So you can see right now it's displaying the time accurately. So that was the first function that I got ChatGPT to do for me very, very successfully. So I said, okay, let me give it a slightly more difficult function to create. So I said, write me a WordPress function that can calculate how many posts are currently published on the website. And again, it gave me the code right here, and it even told me how to call the function. So again, we're going to do this in real time. I'm going to grab the code right here. Okay, so function, let me go ahead and grab the functions.php file in here. Let's paste that. So I've gotten the functions.php file with the code in there. I'm going to save that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my page.php and then simply echo the number of posts. Okay, so we have the function already created in the functions.php. Now to call the function, I'm going to paste the code in the page.php. I'm going to save it right now. Again, all this created by ChatGPT. So now I'm going to go to my website in here, and we're going to go to a page. And right now you can see it says there are currently 9 published posts on the website. If I was to go to the contact page, again, it's a page. So you can see again, it says there are currently 9 published posts on the website, which is actually accurate, which is fantastic. And then I gave it the final function and I said, okay, write a WordPress function that displays the name of the logged in user and greets them in a polite manner. And again, it gave me the code out here. Now here's the thing. Notice that right here, all it did was to give us the actual function. It didn't tell us how to actually echo or provide the output of this function. So right here, I asked ChatGPT, I said, okay, how do I call this function? And again, ChatGPT told me, okay, well, you can display or call out this function in different ways. You can put it in your header.php file, you can put it in your home.php file, and so on. So again, ChatGPT is extremely conversational. If you're ever stuck, you can ask ChatGPT for more explanation and it will help you. So let's just simply go ahead right now and add the final function to my functions.php file. Let me bring in my notepad file in here. The final function, let's go back to function.php, create some space, paste that one right there, save. And then I'm going to go to the header.php file, and that's where I'm going to add the last bit of code that actually outputs the greeting right here. Save that. And let me go ahead right now and go to the home page. And there it is right up there. You can see it says, welcome Alex at webmarketing.com. How are you today? And that's the polite greeting for me as a logged in user to this website. So overall, I would say that when it comes to writing WordPress functions, ChatGPT so far has been pretty excellent. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create even more advanced functions and see what the limits are. When it comes to creating WordPress plugins and more advanced forms of functionality, I would say ChatGPT still has quite some way to go. A lot will depend on the approach, how you ask ChatGPT, and whether or not you use the right kinds of words or expressions in your command or in your request. Again, if you go on YouTube or you go online, you would see people who have been able to get ChatGPT to create websites for them, plugins for them, and so on. So I guess it depends on how you ask ChatGPT. And when it comes to creating blog posts, mixed results. It will give you the content, but the actual quality of the content might be a bit dubious. I feel in most cases you will need to actually jump in yourself and do some editing all by yourself. So that's basically been my experience working with ChatGPT. And to give you my own personal opinion, honestly, I don't know if this kind of technology is good or bad. Definitely there are many advantages of ChatGPT, but then I don't know. The thing is, this is only version 1, I would say, right? Version 1.0. Imagine just how much powerful ChatGPT is going to be 4-5 years from now. That's going to be so scary, just how powerful this could be. It's going to wipe off a lot of jobs. I don't know if ChatGPT would replace programmers entirely. I think it would eliminate the junior programmers. I think to keep your job as a programmer, you would need to be quite advanced and very, very capable in what you're doing, because at the end of the day, even when ChatGPT gives you very, very good code and very specific instructions, you still need to have programming knowledge or some experience as a web developer in order to actually implement that code that ChatGPT gives you. So that's basically been my experience with ChatGPT. Have you tried ChatGPT, and what do you think about ChatGPT? I'd love to hear from you. Put your comments down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you. If you enjoyed today's video, please do share the video with anyone who may feel might benefit from it. Give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new here to the channel, my name is Alex. I make videos around WordPress. Welcome. Do subscribe, hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new tutorial. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you have any questions, comments, of course, put them in the comment section below. I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.